What is the war on drugs? Have you ever wondered how a government's approach to drugs can shape society? The war on drugs is a term that describes a series of policies aimed at reducing illegal drug use and trafficking. This concept gained popularity in the early 1970s, particularly in the United States, when President Richard Nixon declared drug abuse as public enemy number one. At its core, the war on drugs involves laws and regulations that dictate how drugs are used, distributed, and possessed. These laws can vary widely from one country to another, but they often include strict penalties for drug offenses. The approach taken has been primarily focused on law enforcement and punishment rather than addressing drug use as a public health issue. From a sociological perspective, the war on drugs has had profound effects on different communities. One of the most troubling aspects is the racial disparities that have emerged. Minority communities, especially African American and Latino populations, have faced higher rates of arrest and incarceration for drug offenses, despite similar rates of drug use across racial groups. This has led to mass incarceration, which disrupts family structures and limits employment opportunities in these communities. The economic impact of the war on drugs is also significant. Resources that could be used for social services are often redirected to law enforcement and prisons. This shift can worsen poverty and limit access to health care and education for affected populations. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to treat drug use as a public health issue rather than a criminal one. This shift includes providing treatment services and harm reduction strategies for those struggling with addiction. On the other hand, the traditional criminal justice approach has been criticized for its ineffectiveness in reducing drug use and its disproportionate impact on marginalized communities. Policy reform is essential in addressing the disparities created by the war on drugs. Sociologists advocate for decriminalizing certain drugs and investing in community programs that promote restorative justice. Engaging communities in discussions about drug policies can lead to solutions that better meet local needs and reduce stigma around drug use. While the war on drugs is most closely associated with United States policy, similar approaches have been adopted in other countries. However, some nations have taken a more progressive stance, focusing on public health and harm reduction rather than strict enforcement. In the realm of sociology, the war on drugs highlights the intersection of race, class, and economic inequality. It calls for policies that not only address drug use but also tackle the root causes of addiction and provide equitable solutions for all communities.